Thank you. Thank you. You probably guess it's self-made with all those clapping. Thank you for tuning into my live podcast. And this topic which I chosen to speak about right now just came to my mind 1 minute ago. I discovered as I sat down and think about the COVID-19 pandemic and its linked with mass tourism, or what some of you like to call overtourism. There seems to be one key area which we haven't really talked about, and which I feel is the realization that we all have to plan our holidays much more in future. And when I say this, what I mean is that if you look at the current COVID-19 pandemic, one of the very obvious impact that this pandemic has had on our travels is that we suddenly cannot travel anymore, or very few of us can. So as I sat down and think about the connections that this pandemic has with mass tourism, it suddenly dawned on me that for all our future travels, in the many things that we are doing in the travels that we are going to make, there will be a higher extent of intentionality. We will be planning more, because in most of the places that we're going to or planning to travel to, and the different parts of the destination that we are traveling to, there will be all sorts of checks: health check, temperature checks, security checks. There'll be places that will just admit 50 people, 100 people, 60 people, or even 20 people. So this area which I'm talking about, the need for us to intentionally plan our trips, seems to be something which has been missing as more and more of us travel, as more and more places open up for us to travel to, as traveling becomes liberalized pretty much over the past 50-60 years. As we find traveling easier and easier, the planning somehow went out of the window. So I think this plan or this necessity to plan, to intentionally set aside time, resources, and the effort to plan for the different places and the things that you are going to do will start to resurface, will start to be one of those things which our forefathers used to do, which has been missing as travel became something easier and easier throughout our lifetime. And which is good, because when the travelers put in the effort to plan, this will mean that the travel experiences may somehow change from the very frivolous kind of experiences which we were pretty much exposed to. And because of the fact that we will be planning our travels and we'll be planning for our numerous trips around the destinations that we are going to, the effort that we put into planning will also mean that the travel will be more intentional. The things that we seek to see, the activities that we seek to do, the places that we seek to discover, all these things will suddenly become more intentional. So that's my bit of sharing, which I usually try and keep it below 5 minutes. I hope you have gained something drop me an email if you can. And I've got some other podcasts which I have been doing the last 2.5 months, which I hope you spend some time tuning into. So it's Monday, November 2nd, and I wish you a good rest of the week. From Singapore, this is Kevin, Center for Responsible Tourism Singapore. Goodbye.